it's me, Katie She. I'm in your walls sometimes. Not right now, though. Right now, I'm on your screens. Hello! You are my favorite people on the internet, and it is a delight to see you all. Congratulations to Zar on being first, Midnighto on being second, Dave for being the moderator on call, Vic for giving us riddles free, and of course we have Spectrum. Welcome back, Spectrum. Katie, can you stop moaning while on my walls? No. It's part of the experience. An epic shorts editor on call. Yes! Yes, Dave is an excellent, excellent editor, and I am very excited that you get to experience that. It's already hard sleeping with my brother in the toilet at 2 a.m. Well, don't be sleeping with the toilet then, silly baka. I'm on the way to the cinema now, shockingly. What are you going to see tonight, Sarah? What are you going to see? I did hear that you were on your way to the cinema from Dave, but I forgot to ask what you were going to see. And you probably told me already, but my brain is empty soup. You know this. The toilet's next to my room. And the wall is free. Then he's like, yeah, earplugs, Vic. Earplugs. So many problems in life can be solved by earplugs. And look, I know they're not the most comfortable thing to wear long term. I know. But they're better than life without earplugs. They might not be comfortable, but they're better than life without earplugs. Earplugs and earwax. Yeah, you can get earwax, which kind of molds to the shape of your ear. Or unless you mean actual earwax, which is also probably helpful. I can't wear earplugs due to tetanus. What about, what about ones that don't fully block the noise but muffle it, like flare calmers or loops? Are they any use? Ring, ring, ring. Yeah, don't worry. Tinnitus, you know, I'm with you, Vic. That's rough. That is rough, I'm sorry. If there's a type of plug you can wear that'll help, I do recommend it, because certain types of earplugs people with tinnitus have mixed success with, like the flare calmers are ones that I like, which are basically hollow in the middle, and they reduce sound a little, but don't muffle it. Or a white noise machine. You can get a little like white noise machine that's basically a tiny speaker, and you put it under your pillow. So if you don't want to do anything involving your ears, you can just have a little white noise machine on your pillow. Of course, Dave's recommending the plugs for tails. They don't help with sleeping though. Well, they might. I don't know. Can't due to it being an anti-missile room. Oh, okay. So in that case, would a white noise machine work? The white noise machine work? A tail plug would be nice. I mean, yeah. I feel like many people in this chat would sleep better with that situation, but I'm not sure it would help the core issue. Oh man. But welcome on in, lovely folks. Today's game is It Gets So Lonely Here. It's a game about cute girls and bad things happening to them. We love that. I think I have one of those on phone. A white noise machine or a plug? White noise machine can help, but then there is the smell. I mean, if you want me to keep throwing suggestions at you, I would suggest like a dehumidifier with one of those like essential oils in it, but they can be a bit dicey with pets. That takes a bunch of research. Oh man, Vic, that's rough. We love that for them. You know, I don't know. I would like to speak to your manager. This pepper is too spicy. Who's running around Vic's living room with their tail out? Wait, why am I being a Karen? Why is Dave being a Karen? Not a smoke machine, a vapor machine. A diffuser for like aromatherapy. So smokeless. So it's just doing water vapor with fragrance kind of vapor. Oh, you wanted white noise. That's not white noise, that's fear creation. That made me scared. I'm like, why are we all Karens? Why are we all... that's not fair to Karens, is it? I have pretty bad memories from... That's fair. And honestly, the aroma things... they can be useful in extreme situations, which being next to a bathroom might be an extreme one, depending on your brother's proclivities. But I have looked into them in the past, and they can be a bit iffy with cats. Some cats hate the aroma. For some cats and dogs, some of the aromas, you need to choose them very carefully, so it's a big project. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, what? Your brother is something else, Vic. Your brother is something else. But, like... Oh, damn. Damn, Vic, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's a situation that you are in. That is a rough situation. I'm sorry, Vic. Oh. Big hugs from me. Other than Vic living in the nightmare zone, how's everyone else's week doing? How's everyone else's week going? I just wanted him to stop shitting and singing at 2 AM. Is he singing because he's nervous about shitting? Is he one of those people that can't handle bathroom noise? And many of us have not seen a smoke machine and thought, I don't know if it was a smoke machine or a diffuse or like a vapor diffuser. He's singing because he's fucking bored. I mean, even I understand you're not supposed to do that at 2 AM. And I'm me. I'm very socially awkward. But even I know not to do that. Even I know I'd get in trouble. Tell him an autistic cat girl has more social skills than him. Preparing for the new staff member. Yes, Sarah, that's exciting. That's very, very exciting. I hope it goes really, really well for you. And I hope they settle in very nicely. Big changes. We love that. He and I are also both autistic. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so I can't even play my autism card against him. Okay, tell him I'm Scottish. I'm Scottish, so it's in my nature to be very loud. And I don't sing at 2 AM. Tell him that. me just pulling out my cards and ruffling through the deck. Like, autism? Nope, fail. Let's try the Scottish card. Yeah, tell him a Scottish autistic cat girl. See, does that help? Have you seen Arab or Israeli people at 4 AM? I have not, honestly. More to my shame. I mean, you have your cat card. Tell him about your litter box. That's true. Tell him I'm litter box trained, and I don't sing at 2 AM. I do get the zoomies and go screaming in the early hours of the morning, but we're not gonna bring that up right now because that counts against me in this argument. Every day, But 4 AM is for sleepy time. Why go at 4 AM when you could go z, not tr. 4 AM we'd be honk choo memeing. The zoomies are great. They are! As long as they're happening physically and not in your brain. Brain zoomies, less fun. Not recommended. Not recommended. So folks, we are playing It Gets So Lonely Here. It's a visual novel. We have left a situation that was not good for us. We don't really know many details yet. We have ran through the woods at night. We have come across a strange, spooky looking castle with a young lady in it who seems
It's a raid. Oh god, what do we do?
We could say unusual, but she seems fine. Hellhound!
Normal.
You were playing Nun Holy. Welcome on in, Hellhound. Welcome on in. I wish you will see. I don't like weddings where they shoot up into the sky. It's a thing in the US as well, and in a few other countries, and I'm not a fan of it because what goes up must come down. That's how bullet work, that's how gravity. I don't like it. I do not like it. I do not wish to go to that kind of wedding. The only thing we throw should be flowers. Caroline, did you have fun with Nun Holy? I need to look up Nun Holy right now because I remember it being really, really interesting. And I want to look at it again. And did you have fun with it? Oh, it's a gothic roguelike. You hunt vampires. Oh, there's hot people in it. Oh my god. Oh my god, everyone's really hot in this. You can become a vampire. Everyone's super hot. Okay, this game looks... I'm in. I might need to add this to my wish list. And the gameplay looks like Hades. Hades with hot nuns? And it has corruption. Yes! Okay, this looks incredible. I am definitely gonna be checking that out. It never gets lonely here with the Katie community around. That's true. I can't be lonely with all you lovely folks in the chat. I hope everyone is doing good. I know things are tough right now with bathroom shenanigans and work being shit and... Well, I'm sure everyone has a lot of stuff on their plate, but I'm rooting for you. Don't forget that. Hades... No, Hades for hot women. But also, yeah, that is just general Hades. You're right. Did you see that Hades 2 is a full release now? I'm really excited to play. I don't know whether to play on stream because I really... Oh, I'm losing my voice. Hang on, let me hydrate. Hydration, success. Okay. Yeah, you should buy it, Zara. You should. But the full version is out now, and I'm tempted to play it, but I don't know whether to play on stream. Because historically, when I play on stream, the turnout is really, really low. I don't know if that's people don't find it interesting, in which case, I don't know if it's people hating the fact that I'm bad at it, in which case totally valid. People avoiding spoilers, especially because it was in early access, valid. I don't know. So I don't know if it's worth picking up again. Yeah. I don't respawn. That makes perfect sense, honestly. That's what I kind of figure it is for a lot of people, because a lot of us really just don't want spoilers. It's full screen locked and it's a small game, smaller than Date with Death. Ooh. Oh, that's really interesting. I do like a short game, honestly. It's actually achievable. This game is not very long and it's pretty easy. I mean, that sounds good. That sounds good to me. People complaining that it just plays like a roguelike. What were you expecting, my friend? That's intriguing. Thank you. I'm gonna look into that. Because it is on the autumn sale, and I'm not supposed to be buying games. But I don't actually have any... I don't actually have anything to follow that up. I shouldn't be buying games. I have allowed myself to get Time Stranger and Pokemon Za. Nanholy, yeah. Dave is messaging me about Nanholy. I don't have the money for it. Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't be buying games, but I did just buy Time Stranger because Digimon. And I did just buy Pokemon. Well, I didn't just buy Pokemon Za. I pre-ordered Pokemon Za from the minute it was announced. I wanted to get a Switch 2 for Pokemon Za. I've just ordered in the Switch 1 version, and if it doesn't perform well on Switch 1, I will cry. I see. Thank you for adding a note, Dave. It frustrated me a bit, but it's my tism, so it's okay. Woof woof, and I finish it today. I'm proud of you for overcoming the discomfort and getting through it, even if it wasn't feeling good at times and feeling frustrating. It is important for us to seek discomfort sometimes and lean into it. I saw a nice little meme earlier today, basically saying that, oh, I'll post it in the stream chat. Just reminding us all that harmless discomfort is a good thing on occasion. I have shared it in the stream chat. Because I don't know, that always soothes me to know that I am a cat girl capable of character progression. And I can put myself through little bits of discomfort and will come out stronger for it. Unless it's every day after 2 AM. Yeah, to be honest, if it was every day after 2 AM, I would not be seeking that level of discomfort. I'm so sorry that you're stuck in that situation, Vic. I'm a very stubborn pup. The tism had to finish it. Hellhound, I wish I had... So you and I would say Dave as well both have the flavour of tism where if you start a thing you have to finish it. How do I get this flavour of tism? Please, I need it. I have the flavour of tism where finishing things is scary because my perfectionism kicks in hard. And if I finish something then I have to show it to other people, or if it's a video game or something fun, then I have to say goodbye to it and that makes me sad. So I avoid finishing things at all costs, because if it's a creative project, I need to show it to people and face the fact that it will not be perfect. Horrifying thought. And if it's a fun thing, then if I finish it, it'll be over. And that makes me sad. I have both. It's a, you know, Zara, that's a good way of putting it. I feel like I do have the tism that wants to finish things. I have this fierce burning urge of wanting to finish things, and that's why it hurts so much that I don't. But to be fair, if I don't finish it immediately while the hyperfocus is going, it'll never be looked at again. I'm okay with long-term projects, but I do feel like I'd be better as a creative if I finished things sooner rather than later. Does that make sense? Like, I'm okay with finishing things late, but I feel like the longer I let it drag out, the weaker the end result is. Well, not weaker, but the less improvement. It's that thing where you're tooling over a project in the final stages and you don't know if it's getting better or if you're just kind of moving things around a bit. I get like that. I have the tism to annoyingly keep looking for the hardest way to do a game without trying. Making any sense. Oh! Like how? Tell me more, Vic. That sounds interesting. Like, do you have to 100% things, or do you just, like, refuse to look up guides? I play one video game at a time for that reason. Ooh. That's smart. That's smart. I need to... I can't really get better at doing that because I fell in the gacha hole. Girl who waits too long and has improved so much in that time she has too many issues to finish it. Cal! You appear and you clock me immediately, and I am so attacked by that truth because, yeah, that's me. I'm girl. I'm girl, Cal. That's me. I am in this line of text. I am in this line of text because, yeah, that's the worst thing with a big creative project is and to a degree, I think with novel length stuff, it's kind of inevitable that by the time you get to the end, you'll have learned stuff to make it stronger. Which is when revisions can be useful, but then... So, I appreciate that I'm kind of yapping instead of starting the game, but that's okay. You're all gonna sit here and yap with me. That's fine. We're chilling there. I know that revisions exist to help with that because it is inevitable things will need to change, but then you're not words, sorry. I'm processing what I need to say and chewing over it. A lot of the advice is that you shouldn't immediately go into revisions for a creative project. You should wait and let it rest. And I get that. I've done both ways. And rest does give me better perspective. But also, my god, does it kill my momentum. And it's not like I can't even say that the let it rest advice is neurotypical, because it's not, because writers since the dawn of time have never been neurotypical. But I always feel the conflict between wanting to do things the rest and then let it breathe way, and wanting to immediately go in and do the thing. The game hasn't even started, we managed to glitch the cat. It's surprisingly easy. I strive my best to be encouraging and supportive because it's so good to see someone complete or finish something. Woof. Hellhound, you succeed. You succeed, and I love that for you. And yeah, I feel the same way. I really like cheering people on to finish things. But I don't cheer myself on, I bully myself. I punish myself. It's definitely not neurotypical the drawer is a magical place. You're right, yeah. You're right, the drawer is neurospicy. Do you think the problem is I don't have an actual physical drawer? That's not the problem, Katie. That's you making excuses. That is not the problem. The drawer can just be a space on the hard drive. Oh, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and we can yap for a bit longer because I don't want to start the game just yet. I want to keep talking. So, we're heading into the autumn, which is typically the months where I try and get creative. And I was recently looking at Reddit and they had a post about what's your writing deck setup, and I really love these because I like reading about everyone's writing setup and what they do to get into the zone. But I was feeling kind of sad thinking about mine because mine at the moment is put rain noise on. Love rain noise. Or loop a song, whatever works. Get a nice big cup of tea. And then it's just pull up a bunch of documents. Yep, everyone's with me so far. And then my brain just shuts down because everything is immediately so overwhelming at once. Because for folks that have been tracking the Katie writing progress. I'm still in the hell of having all of my documents spread across multiple apps and systems, and I know I need to combine them. But combining is scary for some reason. Why is it so scary? Like, I know all I need to do is combine things into a single source. That means, and it means picking, do I want it to be in Word? Do I want it to be in Google Docs? Do I want it to be in Scrivener? Do I want it to be in Dabble? Because currently it's across all four, basically. If I pick Google Docs, then what if they do a big sweep for smut and kill it all? If it's Microsoft Word, I don't know, what if Bill Gates steals my work? If it's Dabble, should I really be spending money on a third-party writing tool? Do I really have that kind of budget? And Scrivener just makes my brain hurty, but I love it, but it makes my brain hurty. Make it in ASL. American Sign Language? Makaton, yeah, Makaton. Fuck yeah, Makaton's better. I use Novelpad. Novelpad I hear good things about, but one thing I absolutely shouldn't do is try and learn a new tool, because that way lies madness for me. But I have checked it out. I do love it. I recommend it. It's like Scrivener, but slightly simpler. But if my core need is Scrivener but simpler, I do have Dabble, which is web-based and does very similar stuff to Novelpad. Yeah. Use the tools you have. Ignore that I switched again. Hey bestie, what did you switch to? Tell me. Ellipsis looms in the background. Ellipsis does look good. Yeah, I know. I'd love to beta read for you. Oh, Midnight, that's a very sweet and generous offer. Thank you, I appreciate that. I won't hold you to that, because that's a very kind thing to offer, but I will note that down for when I'm looking for betas. Midnighto, and thank you, that does mean a lot, because that's the one bit I'd say don't switch, they don't have chapters yet. Yeah. Like, the thing I like most about Ellipsis is, it's got folders in the project section, but the overall, like, structuring isn't quite there yet. I'd pass the chat with, yeah, you're all doing great. I appreciate you all letting me yap about these things, because just kind of getting the brainworms out there helps. I'm half expecting Dave to be, like, tapping away on the keyboard, making a plan of action. I feel like Dave is probably fighting that urge right now. I like it, but they don't have what you need for structuring a novel. Sometimes I wonder, though, if I get too in the weeds about structure. The big problem I have about Scrivener is it gives me too much power. And that's kind of why I end up defaulting to Dabble, because A, it's the quickest, like, turn-on time. I'm sure there's a less sexually charged word for that, but Dabble, I pull up a tab, boom, done. No finding files, no syncing, no having to do any bullshit. Scrivener, I need to find my files because they're hidden somewhere on a drive. Word, I need to just wait for Word to take its eons to boot. Google Docs, again, is instant. But I should really organize my Google Docs storage. Or am I just self-sabotaging there? I don't know. Brain's confusing. Learn code and make a system that's specifically made just for you. I know how to code. A little bit, enough that if I really felt that was necessary, I could probably do that. And it isn't necessary. There have been so many word processors under the sun that it's definitely not necessary. There's plenty of tools out there that do what I need. I'm just being brain funky. I'm just being brain funky. Like, there are tools there that will do the job. I do not need anything fancy. And I also, I forgot there's a fifth system that I go between, which is printing everything out and doing it by hand. Which, I do feel has something special about it for the spicy brains that are easily distracted. I do feel like there is something special about that. Maybe I should just do that, because I need to clean out my printout bookshelf anyway. Me currently typing up my handwritten stuff. Ooh, yeah. Typing up handwritten stuff is trickier though, because that's like a decoding project. Do what my friend does, write in VS Code. Oh, I feel like the people that write in code editors are the people that do Markdown, and I am weak and I can't write in Markdown. I mean, I could. It reminds me of doing forum posts. But I don't wanna, you know? Tell me about it. I can't fucking read this. Yep, the pain. I need to type up my handwritten stuff like within 48 hours or else the understanding starts leaving my brain. The longer I leave it, the harder it is to decrypt. Oh boy, oh boy. What about latex? Latex scares me. Not like the costume thing, but it's for maths, so it scares me. Also, isn't it expensive? I believe Scrivener supports latex, but Scrivener I'm trying to pull away from because it gives my brain too many distractions. It's me and I were I'm like, bitch, what do you say? Fair, fair. You guys can read, aka I'm dyslexic, please don't bully me. Vic, big hugs, big hugs. There should be no shame in being dyslexic in this chat. I know I can sometimes be guilty of the gut instinct if I see a funny typo to pick on it. But if I'm picking on a typo, it is totally fine to just be like, Katie, I'm dyslexic, shut the fuck up. Because occasionally my base instincts of haha funny typo overrule the sensible nature of everyone making mistakes. And you're far from the only dyslexic person in this chat. You are in very good company here. So do feel free to throw rocks at me. There should be, I believe 2 of our mods are dyslexic, honestly. Yeah, we're in very good company. Well, okay, 1 mod is dyslexic, 1 mod is probably dyslexic but hasn't got diagnosed and never will because they're stubborn. They know who they are. They know who they are. Call us the Leaf Owl Company. When that causes so much skin pain, you need to lube it. Oh no. That is the thing about latex. It does have the most fun name of any of the languages. Though I feel like, so my friend is really mathy. They're really, really smart. They do like an open university course about like complex space stuff, very maths. And I think they call it like latex or something. I don't think they call it latex. Or like latex. I feel like it's not called latex. Thank you for the hydrate, Hellhound. It reminds me of the meme that every medication sounds like a wizard name. Yes! I believe Brennan Lee Mulligan did a really good sketch about that. Or maybe it was another comedian and he just became Brennan Lee Mulligan in my head, in which case, you know, good for them. Good for them. It's like people saying CEX instead of sex. I say CEX, but that's out of... not pity, but I know people that have worked in that shop. And just thinking about the amount of times they have people going, her sex shop, it hurts me deeply in my soul. So I say CEX because I don't want to be anywhere near that old overplayed joke. But it is fucking funny the first few times, don't get me wrong. Is sex actually the official pronunciation? God damn, like I know people who work there. And I didn't think that was the official pronunciation. They probably should have told me. Why didn't they tell me? The wizard meme, thank you. Thank you to Def in the chat. Is Def Vic? Who is Def? Which kitten is Def? That's what it's called. They have adverts? Dang, where'd they get the budget for that? Oh yeah, people vlogging stolen stuff. Yes, sex spelled CEX, Charlie Echo X-ray, is a big chain in the UK of secondhand goods. Like 7 years or something. Yeah, like I would never have looked at that and thought it's pronounced sex because it's a C, and most C's in the UK are hard. Why am I going down this train? I feel like I'm walking into trouble saying that. But it's true, most seas in the UK are hard. The waves are full of boners. So CEX makes sense. And Kex is gamer of Kex would have sounded pretty good, yeah. Yeah, there's a user. Oh wait, the battery muncher. Vic! Vic, are you playing tomfoolery with me? The Battery Muncher is incredible. I feel like that should be your name for a while now. It also sounds vaguely like a euphemism for like android lesbians, and you know, that's great. We love that. We love that. Battery Munchers. They're not just androids, they're lesbian androids. I never changed my name into Death. It was a first to Holy Barry. So no, I feel like you're trolling me. I feel like you're trolling me. I feel like I'm being trolled. I feel like if I wanted to, there's probably a Discord feature which will be like, hey, this is this person's name history. Guess who's going to Scotland for a few days? Woof! It's everyone going to Scotland except me, who's already in it. Wait, is it Hellhound? Hellhound, where are you going to? Hellhound, that sounds amazing. Where in Scotland do you think you'll go? That sounds really fun. Are you in the same boat as Ori of just going, wow, Scotland's really cheap right now. I'm going to Scotland. You're going to Scotland? You're going to Scotland. Walks out front door. Scotland! Everyone, let's go to Scotland right now. I did it! Can I go to Scotland? I wish you could, Vic. I wish you could. I wish you could. I really, really wish you could. Like, are there any options? So I know that... No, not really, huh? Not really. 99 per night for hotel. A part of my brain that's used to business rates is like 99 quid is cheap though. But that probably tells you what the state of things is right now. Is it a nice hotel? Is it a Premier Inn? But yeah, 99 quid for Scotland in winter. That is like how much a meal here costs. Oh gosh, the price of food right now is horrible. UK is about normal, but abroad has cheaper hotels. Why am I getting confused by chat? Still deciding I need to be in cold hunting weather. Woof, for a while. That sounds nice, Hellhound. Yeah, if it's cold weather you need, then Scotland definitely. If you want to go really, really cold, or if you want a mix of super cold and super warm, a Scottish Airbnb with a hot tub, so you can be like out in the cold and then into the really warm and then out in the cold again. That can be really good. And it makes me sad. Yeah, hotel prices in the UK are kind of a joke. Sleep in Welsh. Sleep in Welsh. Jacimri, Jacimri, Jacimri. Jacimri, Jacimri, Jacimri. Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Am I sleeping in Welsh? Sorry, again, I just said that I wasn't going to pick on people for their typos. And then I did it. I'm a problem. Sleep in Welsh, swim to Scotland on your way, pee in Irish Portal. We have no idea what the joke was. The joke was, in between the snoring noises, I was saying Welsh words. I need to start working on my book. I need to fade into the wilderness of my imagination. Woof. Oh, Hellhound, that sounds incredible. Let me send you a place that does writing retreats in Scotland. The only I can send you various places. I can send you the expensive option and the cheap option. Let me see. Let me find. I need to. I'm just checking the cheap option and making sure they still do it in Scotland because it's a UK-wide thing. Events. Okay, yeah. Good Isle of Man, get a brothel there by Katie. Remember a bottle of water and your snacks. Oh, bottle of water and snacks and brothels. I'm not really sure that the Isle of Man really has a thriving brothel industry, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's not really an industry I'm familiar with. So for budget writing retreats, I would recommend Writers HQ's events. They run them in Edinburgh fairly regularly, and it's the second Sunday of the month. You basically rock up at a cafe for 6 hours, pay 45 quid. you get a bunch of biscuits, you get to write with cool people. Seems really neat. I've not been to one because I don't live in the cities, but I wish I could. They seem really cool. And expensive options, if you want to really, really get fancy, I would recommend Monarch Moor. Again, haven't been personally because it's hella expensive, but that is a really nice, like, rural Highlands writing retreat if you want that. I mean, there sure are men there that, I don't know, they say that, but is it like Greenland and it's actually icy, and Iceland and it's actually really green? So Edinburgh, Writers HQ Writer Retreat is a good cheap option. It used to be a lot cheaper. I feel like their prices have jumped up. I swear it didn't used to be 45 quid. I swear it used to be like a tenner at most. I wonder if the Writers Retreat is different to what I'm used to. Maybe I was thinking of a different thing. Have a look on their website. They do other things, and maybe the thing I'm thinking of is a different thing. But Writers HQ have a lot of decent options. Monarch Moor if you want to get really, really fancy. It's also, Monarch Moor is also good if you want to have like a experienced writer person there to give you tutelage. But that sounds scary to me. Writing with people, big scary. Big scary. But depending on what you're writing, if it's like a memoir, they do like themed retreats over like memoir theme, audio drama theme, screenwriting themes. So depending on what you're needing, that could be really good. Are there any rocks on the beach you can just go to sleep with a tent and gaze up at the stars and wake up in the middle of the night and write a story with the light of your campfire? Don't fall asleep with a campfire running if you can avoid it. Try not to fall asleep with a fire running. I know it's easier said than done when you're cold. There are lots of rocks on some beaches and lots of sand on other beaches. It depends on the beach. I feel like writing by campfire probably isn't good for your eyes, but that might be me being old. I just need the me option. Normally would be to check your suggestions, of course. Oh, that's totally fine, Hellhound. That's totally fine. If you've got a system that works with you, stick with it. And also, if you're just happy staying somewhere on your own, it's a lot cheaper than any writing retreat. And it's not a long text, don't you worry. Don't you worry, Hellhound. You can go as long as you like. I write lyrics on my phone while walking because my brain works like that. Stick on one hand, phone on the other. That sounds incredible. Good for you. You can't tell me how to burn my enemies at night. I can if you're going to leave the fire burning and watch. That's irresponsible. Look, you can burn your enemies, but you gotta be responsible about it, okay? Oh, I appreciate you guys letting me yap. This has felt very cozy. So, It Gets So Lonely Here is a visual novel about cute girls. Cute girls, and we last played it September the 19th at 9 o'clock. Cute girls and probably bad things happening to them, let's be real. Look at this gorgeous UI, look at it, it's stunning. This is a game by Ebihimi. It is free, you can download it on Steam. And it will not cost you anything, I think. I'm double checking that I didn't misremember that. It's free, I remembered it. Ebihimi's work is also on sale right now with the Steam sales, so I am looking at all their work very intently. They've got one called Clear Sky Thinking, which is set on the Isle of Skye, and oh, I'm tempted so bad. Do you need head pads? Yeah. How is it every single one of you all are writers and then I just somehow infiltrated the chat one day? I don't know, Vic, but I'm very glad to have you here. I am very glad that we get to talk with you, and I feel like you are a very valued member of our community who gives us a huge bit of perspective on a very difficult and strange part of the world. So, glad to have you here, friendo. Glad to have you here. I much appreciate you sharing your stories, even if probably I sound ignorant quite a lot, because it's very difficult for me to imagine what it's actually like living in those situations. But good to have you here. Head pats, as Hellhound said. Head pats. Like, just... It's a small problem in the grand scheme of things, but just the idea of mandatory military service scares me. And that's a very minor problem on the list of things. I'm a weirdo from that nowhere in the world who all just eat popcorn trying to understand what the fuck's wrong with them. I mean, you could say that about any of us. We're all out in the back of nowhere with weird things going on in our heads. But you're not from nowhere. Nobody is from nowhere. Except maybe the shadow people. think it might be from nowhere. Probably not, they're probably from the Shadow Realm. I started one about a non-binary vampire who's the leader of a rogue clan wolf, and there are taboos in the first chapter. Hell yeah! Let yourself be free. Write all the taboos you want to. So, hi guy. Yeah, it's a different girl again. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. You do not know her. She is still a stranger. But you are struck, all of a sudden, with the intense desire to appease her. God, what a mood! We see a pretty lady and immediately we're like, yeah. I have an Avicii addiction and it's started all over again. Do 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 do. That's the band, right? I'm not getting it confused. Avicii isn't like some secret code word for like hard drugs, right? Do do do. Don't blame for the songs being so good. Okay, good, we're on the same page. It is just the band. Perfect. I am still hip with the kids. You've been struck by a hot lady. It's so true. It's so true. Well, she hasn't hit us or struck us yet, but there's still time. Right now, we are struck by the urge to appease, but she has not struck us yet. Yes, get your daily egg. You do not want to let her down. Honestly, what a vibe. The thought is devastating. I know I said this last time, but I'm going to say it again. I fucking love her design so much. I love how immediately, knowing nothing about this character, there's so much storytelling happening with the red eyes, the red dress hinting at maybe some danger or violence, and just the teeth and the bone motifs everywhere. The fang shapes, the jaw shape in the crown, the spikiness. Just the amount of storytelling in this design of being like, hey, this lady's probably bad news. You're gonna find her hot anyway, but she's probably bad news. It's so good. So good. I don't know if I want to be with her or be in her. Yes, exactly. Those are Katie thoughts. The thought is devastating. Yeah. You were not aware, you tell her, that you'd applied to be her maid, but if that's what she wills, you would not be opposed to it. Oh yeah, she just decided we're her maid, and we're like, okay. You pray that she forgives you, though, for your discombobulation. You come from a distant country, and you've travelled for many miles. You know not where you are, and you do not know who she is. What? You don't know who I am? It is regrettable, you tell her, but no, you do not know her. Though that is no fault of her own. Oh, she does a little bounce when she animates. I saw it there when I went backwards. I don't know how I went backwards, so let's try it. Oh, I can just use this. Look at the little bounce, isn't that cute? Boing! I like a little bounce. Yes, master, yes, exactly. We all live to serve. Why, you've spent such a long time running, you hardly even know yourself. That's true, we basically have very little memories because we've been running from something, question mark, for a long time. Was the something perhaps in a red dress? A red and black dress? We don't remember. Ah, so you're a fugitive then from another country, I see. I won't pry into your past then, if you'd rather forget about it. Oh, I don't mind sharing my past with you, though. Dog, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. Everyone in this country knows who I am, after all. Or at least, they should. Now, this is quite the impressive boast. If it were to come from the lips of another, you would find it unpleasantly arrogant. You do not think, however, that this girl is trying to show off. You're just like, pretty lady would not lie to me. You get the feeling instead that she is merely telling the truth. If you don't have the pleasure of knowing me, then allow me to do the honors. My father and my mother were the king and queen of this realm, and I am its princess. I've lived in this castle all my life, so I don't know much about the outside world, but I know that other countries do exist out there. I presume it's from one of these foreign countries that you come from. It's very good to meet you. I've always wanted to talk to somebody from overseas. It feels like quite the opportunity. The girl giggles at this and you smile in response. Yay! Oh no. soup at 10 p.m. I mean, if it's tasty soup though, then tasty soup. You tell her unthinkingly that it is your pleasure really to meet her, or at least that's what you mean to say. You only get halfway through this remark when the full gravity of what the girl has told you sinks in. You come to a stop. Then you stare. Did she just say she was a princess? Hold on a second. Yes, that's right. I'm a princess and one day I'll be a queen after I've done a little bit of growing up. My ministers don't think I'm ready to run the country just yet, but I've been doing my best at lessons. One day I'm sure I'll be the best queen there ever was. So, she really is a princess. That makes sense, you suppose, given she lives in a castle, but it comes as a surprise regardless. You hadn't known before you entered this chamber that you were trespassing on a lady of such great renown. Is she gonna be like Mary, Queen of Scots? Good question. Is pea soup? No, Dave! Get out of here! Get out of here with that. Why, if she willed it, she could have you executed for your carelessness. An ugly red flush creeps up your face, a flush which is far more lurid than the princess's dress. As you look to your feet, I'm like, oh no, she could kill me at any time. Anytime. Bashfully, you stammer out a new address that you are very sorry for intruding upon her, and you hope that she can forgive you. Oh, it's alright, think nothing of it. I don't mind, really. We all make mistakes, and anyway, you weren't to know. You said you weren't from around here. You nod your head in silent affirmation. It isn't a complete lie. You really are not from this country. You are not from this world at all. Whoa, wait, what? Am I the monster girlfriend? Am I a monster GF? Maybe I'm the monster GF. I hope I'm the monster GF. Or isekai, it could be that. But I hope I'm a monster GF. How wonderful! I'll look forward to picking your brain later. All of my servants come from the nearby village. Their tales are all the same, and so are their superstitions. I could do with a breath of fresh air. My last lady's maid told me I was too impetuous, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a bit of adventure. Not that I've ever been afforded much of that. I've been shut up in here for so long. I hardly ever get the chance to talk to other girls my age. The maid is cleaning, chat, says Hellhound. Yay, good luck, thank you for the cleaning. God damn it, he decided to add chicken. Chicken. Honestly, onion soup on its own though. Pretty bland. Hellhound, thank you for clearing the chat so well that it is now cleared for everyone. Woof woof. My last lady's maid was older than me, and so was the one before her, and the one before her. Some of the princess's fair mood seems to dissipate as she speaks, her expression turning by degrees into something rather more pensive. But I haven't seen any of my old lady's maids in a while, or any of the other servants for that matter. It's okay, I still see it. Okay, I still see it too, yeah. Oh no, you're venting. Oh no, you're venting. Yeah, we still see it, don't you worry. Don't worry, your venting lives on in our memories. They've all disappeared. Now that is quite curious. How could a whole household full of servants simply disappear? That is curious, isn't it, chat? That I don't know. This castle was full of servants once, my lady's maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and a large retinue of retainers. Retinue of retainers, it's a tongue twister. They're all gone now, though. I think my ministers must have sent them away. I don't know why they would have done that, though. They didn't explain it to me. Her ministers are sus, I won't lie. But then again, they never explain anything to me. They still treat me like a little girl. It's so tiring. She said that her ministers sent her servants away? What of her parents, the king and the queen? Would they not be the ultimate authorities in the castle's hierarchy? They would, yes, if they were still alive, but they're not. They died a long time ago. I was raised for most of my life by my servants. Oh, you answer, and then you flush. You hadn't known. It's alright. You don't need to apologize. I'm just happy that I have you now. I was getting sick and tired of only having my dolls to speak to. They aren't the best conversational partners. You can imagine so, yes. You doubt any doll, even one made by a talented artisan with an intelligent face, indistinguishable from a human's, would be very good at answering back. Oh no, they aren't! They're hopeless at it, really. They're so stony-lipped. You've no idea how much of a relief it is to see you. This castle is so big, and without my servants it feels so very empty. It gets so lonely here! It's the name of the game! Yay! The name of the game. Why does that pose maker look like me after I just showered? Oh. Enjoy your Blauhai cuddle. She said the thing, she did! She did, and it's even bolded, I love that. I'm really intrigued though, there was something she said a second ago. What was it? I don't know, it's gone from my brain. Now that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? Have we heard it before, chat? That's a good question. You do not have much time to ponder this, however, because the princess is speaking anew, in that curiously conversational manner of hers which does not seem particularly princessy. Maybe she learned how to speak from her servants. That would explain why her consonants are so unrefined. I mean, if her consonants were refined, you wouldn't be hearing it from me. Hearing about castles around the country for some reason sounds so English. Like, you mean you don't have some 100 BC houses near you? Oh, but listen to me yammering on again. It's a bad habit. I really must put a stop to it. You're probably tired, dear one, from your travels. Would you like me to show you to your room? Yes, the princess announces before you can say anything in reply. I think I'll do just that. Yay, sleep! Punctu, mew me! I might show you a bit around the castle first, though. It's like a maze in here, and I wouldn't want you getting lost. You'll be staying here for quite some time, after all. The princess then hastens to take you on a tour of her home. Fortunately, she does not show all of the rooms in her abode, and neither does she offer overly long descriptions as to what the few rooms she does show you are used for. She does, however, pause by the kitchens, whereat she offers you some victuals. That means food. Yeah, Vic. That's heartbreaking. It's yeah, so many lovely historic sites. Yeah. Once the growling in your belly has been satisfied, the princess then resumes her journey. She leads you down a dark, twisting hallway and up a series of equally dark, twisting steps until she arrives, at long last, before a door. The princess pushes this door aside summarily, thus permitting you entrance to a small, humble bedchamber. This chamber is not half so opulent as the grand bedroom in which the princess resides, with its resplendent four-poster and its richly patterned wallpaper. This room's ceiling is not as high, and the singular bed shoved against the wall is thin and narrow. The walls are an unassuming beige, and the floor beneath your soles is of warped wood. There's a malodorous scent, too, which hangs in the air, one of disuse and general decay. You get the feeling that nobody has slept in this room for quite some time. That might explain why it feels so very cold in here. Though if the princess's tour of her castle has taught you anything, it's that it's cold in every room in her abode. Now here we are, the final stop of the tour. This'll be your room, dear one. I hope it's to your liking. The princess, despite her exalted status, looks somewhat uneasy as she observes you, her eyes upturned like those of a loyal dog's. Aww, puppy princess. Is she concerned about your reaction to this room? Perhaps she's afraid you'll turn your nose up at her kindness. For a princess, she's awfully eager to please. This unexpected contrast between the princess's lofty title and her ingratiating attitude makes you smile. The room is rather scanty, yes, when it comes to its contents, but it's more than passable. It has a roof and 4 walls. Puppy princess, exactly! It has a roof and 4 walls, and though it is cold, you fancy you will feel warmer once you slip beneath the bed sheets. The room is not quite so fancy as your dorm at the conservatoire, and neither is it so large, but it does have one glaring improvement over your previous lodgings. You will not be expected to share it with anyone else. Ooh, backstory! So, I was previously in a dormitory that I had to share with other attendants, residents, students, servants, slaves of the conservatoire. There's only one bed in this room, and this bed is to belong to you. You think that the peace and quiet will do you a world of good. You tell the princess as much, and she smiles. That's good. I was worried you wouldn't like it. I know it isn't much to look at, but it's one of the nicest servants' rooms we have in the castle. Most of the maids sleep beneath the roof, in this teeny tiny room, which is all cramped. There's 10 beds up there, and they're so close together there's barely any room to pass between them. I thought it was perfectly ghastly when I saw it, the last time I went up there. Not that I was supposed to be up there. It was a rainy day and I couldn't go outdoors, so I was doing a bit of exploring. If the housekeeper had known I'd been skulking around, I don't think she would have been best pleased. Well, in any case, nobody sleeps up there anymore. The scullery maids are all gone now. I couldn't put you up there, though, in the attic with all those empty beds. I didn't think that'd be very cheery. You're not just a scullery maid, you're my lady's maid. That means you deserve good lodgings. It'd be an insult to offer you any less than this. Now it's getting late. You'll have to forgive me for rabbiting on. I heard it's something I tend to do. It's a bad habit, one that's unbecoming for a lady. The housekeeper's warned me enough times. You reassure the princess to the contrary, smiling as you do so. You do not mind if she talks too much. That is better than not talking at all. Her affable nature makes it easier to spend time with her. Manners be damned. You were always scolded too back in the conservatoire for your behaviour. You know full well how aggravating it can be to be upbraided, which basically means scolded. Not for any particular misdemeanour, but for being yourself. Well, I'm glad you understand, the princess answers with a giggle. I should be off though. It's bad manners to keep you, especially when you look so sleepy. Get some rest. We can talk more tomorrow if you don't mind my ceaseless prattle. I'm glad you seem to appreciate it, at least. Though I'm sure you'll get tired of it eventually. All my old maids did. We do a little save. The princess departs, and in her absence you take a seat upon the bed. Your new bed! Yay, bed! You cannot help but think this all happened very quickly. It doesn't seem like very long ago that you were still in the forest, running for your life amongst the tall, imposing trees with their gnarled, grasping branches. The forest might as well be a distant memory now, though. You're indoors, inside a castle no less, and you've been given a room in which to sleep and clothes that you might wear. It seems premature still to declare that you're out of the woods, in a metaphorical sense, I mean. But things could certainly be worse. Thank you for the fishnets, Toggle, Hellhound. You force yourself to stand on legs which feel too weary to support you, and change into the night clothes hanging in the wardrobe. The night clothes do not fit you perfectly, but you're too tired to care about that. You're too tired to care about much of anything. You retreat to the bed and slide beneath its sheets. Then you let your eyelids fall shut. You exhale. And lulled by the breeze which blows outdoors, you fall asleep. You're so very tired. Your sleep is a deep, dark one. darker even than the furthest abysses of the nighttime. Like the nighttime sky, however, which shimmers with stars, your sleep is not devoid of those prismatic fragments you humans call dreams. Okay. Am I saying that as a non-human, or is the narrator saying that? Though in this case, I rather think your nocturnal imaginings are worth far more than that. They are not dreams, are they, to which your slumbering mind is subjected? You know that they are not. Otherwise, your body would not be so very cold, not so clammy. The images that flicker beneath your closed eyelids like the ghostly images in a phenakistoscope were not conjured from within your mind. They were instead taken from your memories. You're not merely dreaming, you're remembering. You remember the girls who slept in your dormitory, and how they always hastened to use the shower first so you were last up for breakfast. You remember how, when you finally did arrive at the dining hall, the most desirable morsels had already been snaffled up by the girls who got there earlier. You struggled, too, to find a seat once you finally did get your hands on some food because nobody ever wanted to sit with you. The other girls all acted like you were a leper, save for when they wanted favors. They never asked for these favors, mind, for why would they? To them, your father's prestige didn't matter. They were all wealthy ladies too, many of them wealthier than you. When everybody has the airs and graces of a princess, how is anyone supposed to stand out? You stood out the least in your class, perhaps because you were one of the smallest, the frailest, the sickliest, who always came down with colds in the winter. Your poor health did not stop the other girls from treating you as a servant, though, when they remembered that you existed, of course. It was your lot in life, as you dwelt within the stone walls of the conservatoire, to carry school bags across the field like a pack mule. Then, come the evenings, the girls in your dormitory had you sewing on missing buttons and ironing out the creases and wrinkles in their uniforms. If there was an odd job that needed performing, you would always be asked. But these girls didn't ask you. That would have been too civilized. They ordered you instead, and as they ordered you, they laughed at you. They laughed and they laughed and they laughed. The laughter hurt, but it hurt considerably less than the kicks did, and the slaps, and the pinches. Once, during an embroidery lesson, one of your classmates had an accident with her sewing scissors. She stumbled, or at least she pretended to. And before you knew it, the silvery blades of those scissors were embedded in your left palm. This happened quite some time ago, when you were even littler than you are now, but you can still remember it. Aww. Yep, Abby Heme does not pull any punches with her writing. Abby regularly does quite dark fiction. But also their stories, if you prefer lighter stuff, she does do fluffier stuff and is usually very clearly declared in the game description. We do have trigger warnings pinned if anyone needs them. Because this is I believe, towards their darker tone, but I think it's like gothic fantasy dark. I don't think it's like dark. Like, it's not Coffin and Lily dark, as far as I know. Coffin of Andy and Lily. It hurt a lot. The scissors were sharp and they perforated your skin, not all the way down to the bone, but enough to bleed. Your wound bled bright red, like strawberry jam, all over your embroidery. Then, when your professor saw it, she shrieked. Her face turned as pale as whey, and she looked for a few moments as though she might faint, though you were the one who was in pain. Your professor looked at your face. She could not bear to look at your hand, then demanded to know why you could not be more careful. Her tone had been accusatory, almost as if you'd stabbed yourself in the hand with your scissors to goad her. The pain in your hand hurt, but the giggles of your persecutors hurt all the more. They never were punished for that. Perhaps your professor didn't care enough to punish them. Perhaps she, like everyone else, thought it was all your fault. Is he maybe pan-frying the chicken? Or the onions? Oh, he'll be sauteing the onions. I think he sauteed the onions for onion soup, right? The The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You didn't even need any stitches. At time! Let's head to the BRB. Hi, Ari! It's 10 p.m. Yep. Go to sleep and do it tomorrow. It's soup now. Soup urgent. Alright, let me head to the BRB screen. See you in a minute. We're back, gamers. We're back to the traumatic memories. Da 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 da. The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You didn't even need any stitches. You still have the scar. You don't know how much blood you lost. It seemed like a lot back in the classroom. You could smell it in the air, sharp as iron. But it couldn't have been that much, evidently. If your wound had been more serious, perhaps your... Oh wait, I did a scroll. Let me get back to where we were. And set my scroll wheel to be less sensitive. It healed well enough in time on its own, though it still left a scar, a white raised thing like a crescent moon. Ooh, moon symbols! You still have that scar? You do not know how much blood you lost. It seemed like a lot back in the classroom, but it couldn't have been that much, evidently. If your wound had been more serious, perhaps your professor might have cared. Perhaps your classmates, too, would have felt some modicum of guilt over what they did. But this seems very unlikely. You know that your blood meant nothing to your classmates. Why should it? If you meant next to nothing, then the blood in your veins was, if such a thing is possible, even more inconsequential. You feel disorientated when you awake, at long last, with the rising of the sun. You don't remember what you dreamt, but you do not think that your dreams were of a particularly pleasant nature. If they were, your heart would not be hammering so. Ill at ease, you glance around. You're lying on a narrow bed in an unremarkable room, one with dull beige walls and a warped wooden floor. Where exactly are you? This doesn't look like your dormitory in the conservatoire, not unless it has shrunk threefold overnight. Your brow furrows as you attempt to recall the events of the night prior until, with a gasp, it all clicks into place. Hot princess! You remember now. You were running through the woods, trying to escape from... You shudder. You do not want to think of what it was you were trying to escape. You presume you must have given your hunter the slip, though, because you are still in one piece, awake and alert enough to face the dawning of a new morning. You still have all your limbs, and your facial features appear to be in the correct configuration. That's more than enough to be getting along with. You look to the foot of your bed, then blink, bemused at your discovery. You can see lying upon the sheets a garment, 2 garments actually, of black and white, folded into a neat white square. Maid outfit? Maid outfit. Hi, Jinxie. Hello. If so, it would not be too surprising. You can now recall your visit with the princess the night prior, and her assertions that you must be her lady's maid.
You will give me an egg.
Dirty daily egg. Nom 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 nom. I hope you're doing well, Jinx. I hope you're having a great week. How's everything going? Are you learning good? Are you settling back into the flow of things? Well, if that's the role she wants you to assume, you have no qualms with it. It's far preferable to the other role you played last night, that of a startled quarry running from its pursuer. You press your fingers against the humble maid's attire. It feels surprisingly soft to the touch, not coarse like you expected. These clothes are rather fine. Did the princess put them there? If so, that's all the more reason to wear them. You're not churlish enough to deny her hospitality. You rise from your new bed, then undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. This task accomplished, you then clad yourself in your new attire, black, white, and eminently sensible. Maid outfit! I am simply existing this week. God, what a vibe though. Pretty much the same, Jinxie. Just kinda rolling through the days. But I've got some annual leave coming soon, so I'm looking forward to the time off. But also in a mad rush to try and get as much done as possible before my time off. Whee! You feel very far away from the girl that you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something within you seems to have changed. You're no longer a student, not as long as you mean to reside within the princess's castle. You would far rather be her servant. So we know she isn't from this world, and she was a student at the conservatory, so I'm thinking like a student of magic, maybe? Or a student of other worlds? Yay! Yeah, Jinx, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm scared I might not be able to get on top of all my things in time because I really, really need to. But focus is tough. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat from your chamber, then make your way to your mistress's bedroom. The castle is a large one with many, many rooms and many, many hallways to connect them, and for a brief while you find yourself horrendously lost. You cannot remember where the princess's bedroom is. You're beginning to feel rather disorientated when, to your relief, your eyes snag upon a stairwell which looks rather familiar. Could this be the way? You ascend these steps, your footfalls cushioned by the plush carpet which lines them, and then find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior. If your memory doesn't fail you, then the princess's bedroom ought to be. Yes, it's here. You rap upon the door but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? You wonder briefly whether you oughtn't wait until she's risen of her own accord, but no. The sun is high in the sky, and it would seem a shame to let the princess sleep through the day. You ought instead to rouse her. Why does this feel ominous? Thank you, Jinxie, I appreciate that. I hope that you are taking easy and practicing that same kindness to yourself, yeah? Practice what you preach. Be kind to yourself. Hear me out, Golf Katie in a golf maid outfit. Yes. How perchance would I make Katie further golf? Like darker eyeliner? Would I dye my hair streaks red? Because I can do that. Bam, bam. Hang on, I need to remember how to trigger this because I'm silly. What would I need for an outfit to qualify as Golf Katie? Feel free to send me inspirational images. I'm always down for inspirational images of cute golf outfits. You ought instead to rouse her. That seems like the sort of duty a lady's maid should attend to. You do amazingly, Jinx. I know, I just want to see Katie in a golf maid outfit. Maybe someday. I know our dearest model stylist was at one point working on maid outfits, but our dearest model stylist is incredibly, incredibly busy. Because our dearest stylist is very, very talented and is being recognized for those skills. So, I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition. I hope it will, though. I think that would be neat. That seems like the sort of duty a lady's maid should attend to. You enter the princess's bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remembered from the night prior, though the ceiling seems even higher when viewed in the wan morning light. Can I wear a butler's outfit instead, though? Please? You can see now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view. Wait, I read that totally wrong. You can see, now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view, how very opulent your young mistress's abode is. Her armoire is large and imposing, as is the grate in which you will be expected to keep a fire lit during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her side beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. I'm glad she's okay, I was worried she might be a ghost. She's attired in a nightgown adorned with frills, and her hair is split across her pillow like spilled gold. Okay, Hellhound, it's good to see you. I hope you have a lovely, lovely night. Thank you for taking such good care of the chat, Hellhound. Bye-bye. In her slender arms, meanwhile, held to her chest is a doll, the very same one she was cosseting last night. You suppose this doll must be her favourite. Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, so you do not suppose it matters all that much. It's time to wake your mistress. You call out to the princess, but she's largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still sewn tightly shut, and her lips are pursed in slumber. You purse your lips too and sigh. Well, nobody ever said your job would be easy. Once again, you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favourable one, however. She sighs, then turns away from you, her doll clutched to her chest. Just give me a little longer. The princess sounds so enfeebled, but you do not take pity on her. If you've learnt anything from the conservatoire, save for the knowledge pertaining to the respiratory tracts of fish, it is that one must be cruel to be kind. You do not think this adage was practiced with any great success in the conservatoire, but perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her once again to wake up, more sternly this time. You will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It's very slovenly, really, to still be abed at such an hour. Oh. Defeated, the princess sighs. All right. I can see that I can't twist you around my little finger. I'm up, you don't need to nag me. Oh, she's so cute. I like how her nightgown keeps a lot of the shape language of her dress. That's so heckin' cute. Hi Darkshade, welcome in, I hope you're having a good day. Once you've roused the princess from her bed and you've put her doll to one side, you set upon her toilette. You aid the princess in the brushing of her hair, a chore to which she submits willingly, like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. You allow yourself to ponder, as you run the bristles of the princess's brush through her hair, how wonderfully soft it feels against your skin. Dang! Focus up, Katie, focus up! But a curious query from the princess, "Are you alright, dear one?" brings you back to your senses. You were rather lost in thought there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts, would you? No, the lesbian thoughts are leaking. I thought that you learnt your lesson about that already. Suitably chastened, you finish with the princess's hair, then set the brush aside. Now that the princess's tresses have been taken care of, you must start on her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of her bed, looking up at you askance. She doesn't ask you to avert her eyes, nor does she make any motion of divesting herself of her nightgown. It really does seem as though she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that alright? You ask the princess as much. You would not wish to impinge upon her modesty, but she only laughs. Yes, that's alright. It's what you're supposed to do if you're my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it. She might not be squeamish about it, but you are. Uh-oh. You've never seen a naked woman before except yourself. Gay panic! Even then, however, you've always dressed and undressed furtively, not wanting to examine your body for longer than is strictly necessary. You've never much liked the way that you look. You make a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to the side easily. It's alright. I might be a princess, but we're both people underneath all of our clothes. I doubt we look much different. You're not sure about that. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned, but you already know, to look at her face, that you are different. She's much, much prettier than you are. But she's waiting, and you don't wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Then, you reach out with trembling hands, and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess's nightgown. You work as quickly as you're able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do so. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware of what it is exactly you are doing, or not doing, for your fingers have begun to seize up, with the front of her nightgown. She's not even looking at you. Instead, her gaze is directed beyond your shoulder, to the windowsill and the sky beyond it. It isn't particularly sunny, but I don't think it's too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. What do you think, dear one? You think that you would like to finish undressing the princess as soon as possible, so you can make some progress on dressing her again. The sight of all this exposed skin is bad for your heart. Fortunately, you're able to make quick work of the princess's nightgown despite your initial mishaps, spurred on, perhaps, by your anxiety. Undressing, you say, I've been summoned. Yep, we're undressing the princess. You bid the princess to stand, which she does, and neatly. She steps out of her nightgown, her motions once again as graceful and as fluid as a dancer's. The task completed, you search hurriedly, worriedly, for the princess's red dress. Where is it? You can't find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms, meanwhile, feel uncomfortably clammy. Schnetz toggle, thank you, Artie. The moments pass awkwardly, uneasily, as you search. The princess standing there all the while as naked as the day she was born. Hineki. Hineki. Why did you not find her day dress before you stripped her of her night one? What a fool you are. The princess, noting your panic, giggles, then says, Are you looking for my dress? Yes, you reply, your face flushed. That is what you're doing. I thought so. I did wonder, before you started undressing me, why you'd not asked where it was. Maybe it slipped your mind. It had slipped your mind, yes, to your shame. You were too busy trying not to fixate upon the princess's bared skin to think about how best to conceal it. My dress is in my armoire, the princess says, glancing over the aforementioned piece of furniture. That armoire of hers is an intricately carved wooden structure, large enough, or so you estimate, to fit inside it enough dresses to attire a whole ballroom's worth of princesses. I'd like to wear the red one. It's my favourite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me? I don't want to rush you, but it is rather cold in here, especially when I'm still naked. She raises a good point. You turn away from the princess and make your way to her armoire. Once there, you open its wooden doors and peruse the clothes hanging within. It's just as you expected. Inside that wardrobe lie numerous dresses, all of them finely sewn and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess's red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. With your spoils in hand, you hurry to dress her, concealing once again the princess's pale skin beneath layers and layers of soft red velvet. Woo! She's dressed again! She's easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. That might have been the most nerve-wracking task you've ever had to accomplish, even more so than your perilous escape through the foggy forest. Why, it seems a small miracle you can even remember how to breathe. Ah, that's so much better! Thank you, dear one, for your help. You've not been here for a full day, but I already wonder what I'd do without you. Shyly, you assure the princess that you did nothing really, nothing beyond your job. You didn't do anything incredible. And in any case, being complimented by someone so pretty is embarrassing. Fair, fair. Oh, don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I when you've been so helpful? It'd be rude not to, and anyway, I think you're very pretty too. Girls love! Let them smooch, let them smooch, let them smooch on the lips. Oh my. Your face flushes from this, more deeply than ever before. You ought to count yourself lucky, really, what with all this excessive blushing, that the princess doesn't seem to possess any vampiristic tendencies. You're making yourself quite the easy target. I have been wondering if there is a vampire kind of undertone with the way she spoke so much about losing blood. Now, the princess declares, why don't we go for a walk? It's a nice enough day and I get so very bored of being cooped up inside. Girls love, more like damn girl. I know a girl that would love you, I say as I point together, lover of girls. I just thought we were both pointing at her, honestly, because Ori, I feel like you're in the same boat. Pointing at girls. Me pointing at you, who's pointing at me, who's pointing at girls. I point at you, you point at me, we use our other hand to point at pretty women and go, girls! People scary, nah, people nice, people nice. You can't think of any particular objections to raise to this remark, and you think the princess might have a point. The castle, though expansive, is somewhat stifling. What did I have a point about? I forgot. Oh yeah, the walk, okay. The walls are so very thick, they put you in minds of a crypt. With your acquiescence assured, the princess quits her chamber, her posture elegant and her gait unhurried. She seems not to walk, as she navigates her way through the seemingly endless hallways of her home, but to float like a cloud. Damn, visual novels always, like, take it out of me vocally. Let me have a little sippy of brew. Katie, imagine playing Repo, right? I mean, I'm already struggling to imagine that, but yeah, okay. In the distance of a hallway, you just hear any friend pick any yell lizard as they jump into the darkness, and then you see and hear an explosion in front of you. Okay, I'm imagining. Yes, my friend Ori has just yelled lizard and jumped into the darkness, and then I heard an explosion. Okay. What now? What do I do? I imagine how much laughter there would be. I mean, I would go looking for the hot lizard. If Ori is chasing after the hot lizard, then so am I. Girl Brown, welcome on in. Thank you for the very kind words. That's such a nice thing to say. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Tuesday. Welcome on in. The hem of her dress swishes around her legs, and her hair shifts like a shroud. Lots of death imagery, interesting. Ew, what about hot lizards? Just me willing hot lizard people into existence, you know? If we're gonna have lizard people, they should be hot ones. Like, oh, the Doctor Who lizard lady. Doctor Who was so ahead of its time there. The castle's courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess's beauty. Oh, they've got one of the little spinny things! I'm sending you an image of him. Go for it, go for it. The courtyard is fenced by the castle's walls, which look, in the stark midday light, tall and imposing, faceless soldiers standing sentinel. Though the sun is out, it's not particularly bright, neither is it particularly warm. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower beds are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. I didn't get hired to be a gardener. It's all rather depressing. I don't know how to garden. Oh, message from Ori. Okay, that lizard person I'm not keen on, honestly. The Repo lizard person. No, not even I can spin that into a hot person. The princess's castle might be grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple, hemmed in to a claustrophobic degree like a coffin. Dang, we've had corpses, we've had coffins, we've had shrouds. Interesting. The princess, however, seems not to share your dolorous mood. She instead looks elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She gambols about like a lamb, flitting hither and thither as she examines the weed-infested flower beds. Her frolicking comes to a cease, however, by a bush. One is full of bright red roses. Oh, how very pretty! Do you not think they are gorgeous, dear one? Interesting, because we've got roses all around the borders here. What does it mean? What does it mean? The flowers are not too disappointing, you suppose. Yippee! Senna! Welcome on into the cat family! Red Joker, now that's a cool name. Also, you've got like a really cool Hollow Knight Hornet symbol. Are you enjoying Hollow Knight too? I hope you're having a great time with it. Also, your emotes are adorable. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I hope you're having a great Tuesday night and that your week is going really smoothly. They make for a fine spectacle, in fact. A welcome splash of colour when contrasted with the dullness and the drabness which permeates the rest of the courtyard. Pretty flowers! Yeah, just chilling. Welcome on in, everyone. Yes, welcome on in, everyone. It's so good to see you all. Welcome. Dave, says Ori, take a guess how much stone I've mined in Minecraft so far. 999! Though the other flowers in their beds are wilted, withered things, it is not so for these roses. They're a rich bright red, just like blood, their heads so full they seem almost to droop beneath the weight of their own engorged petals. They're pretty, in a sense. But there's something unsettling about them too. Something that's almost obscene. I keep having salacious thoughts. No. How did those roses become so very red? What's been sustaining them? Could it possibly be that those roses have been draining the life from the other flowers which are struggling to grow within this garden? Vampire roses! It's a fanciful thought, but... Oh, they are simply divine! Looking at these roses always lifts my spirits. They really are my most favourite flowers. I simply must pick some of them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of colour. The princess reaches out so as to pluck one of the roses free from its resting place amongst his brethren. No, you're gonna get stabbed. No. You watch her, your breath bated, anxious that this gesture might result in perforated flesh and bright red blood. But the princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course she is not. Who did you think she was? You? Aha! Why am I burning myself? Who did you think she was? You? Rather than worrying about other people, you would be better served if you worried more about yourself. The princess holds her newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower's sweet scent washes over her. A few moments of silence pass. Then the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown. Now let me see. I wonder what fate has in store for me. She loves me? The princess plucks a petal from the flower's overburdened head. She loves me not. The princess continues with this childish incantation, all the while stripping her rose slowly and methodically of its petals. These petals flutter about the princess like a bloody snow. The princess's voice, meanwhile, echoes throughout the courtyard, even more melodic than the strains of a pianola. Pianola! Pianola. She loves me? She loves me not. She loves me? She loves me not. The princess's fingers hover over the final petal, which crowns her nearly denuded flower. Then, with a triumphant smile, she declares, "She loves me! I knew it!" Fair, Rory. You watch the princess, amused by her girlish good cheer. The little mantra she's been reciting is one that you're familiar with. The girls of the conservatoire also used to engage in this little game. The younger ones, at least, who believed that a fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child, but you had never pinned your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in princes has always been minimal. I bet it has. When it comes to fair princesses, though, well, that's a different matter altogether, isn't it? Pleasantly, you ask the princess whose love it is she wishes to court, a query which makes the princess giggle. Oh dear one, who else would I be thinking of? I mean, she did say she, come on. Read the room, Katie, read the room. Naturally, I was thinking of you. Naturally. She says it so easily, as though you ought to have suspected as much, and indeed, part of you did. You wanted to believe, yet part of you was afraid to. She's starting to believe. Believe in the power of Yuri. You didn't want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might care for your affections. You begin to blush, your cheeks almost as red as the roses, while the princess laughs. She laughs and she laughs and she laughs, her voice clear and sweet like a nightingale's song, as though you are the funniest thing she has ever seen. You never liked being laughed at when you dwelt within the walls of the conservatoire, but it is different with her. You've not known her for all that long, but you are already entranced by her, ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little finger. Oh my! The princess's laughter tapers off into a series of giggles as, smiling, she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea. You look at the princess curiously. What idea? You can't tell? You can't even begin to guess. I just thought that all this watching must be boring you, the princess says, tossing the rose's stripped stem carelessly to the ground. You should give it a try. Please do. It'll be fun. The princess retrieves a second red rose from the bushes, deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offers it to you. I want to see what fate has in store for you too. I'm nervous. But on the surface, I look calm and ready. You smile at the princess, touched by her enthusiasm. Indulging in childish games like this might not be the best use of your time, but the princess looks so very determined you wouldn't wish to hurt her. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? What could be the harm? Katie, this game has only 2 endings. The only real casualty of this game will be one singular rose, the rose that the princess is holding towards you. You reach out, meaning to accept the princess's offering, but... oh no! You're clumsy, and you seize the stem of the rose with a touch too much strength. The head of the rose might be pretty, but there is more to a rose than its bright, red flowers. Roses have thorns too, a fact you are now being painfully reminded of. Pain flares through your finger and you gasp. You take a step back, the hem of your skirt swishing around your ankles. Your finger is stinging, and so are your eyes. You ought to have been more careful. Why were you so stupid? You poor dear, you're bleeding, the princess exclaims, alarmed. Then she frowns. This is all my fault. If I'd not suggested this silly game, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you. And how's she going to do that? Perhaps she means to take a handkerchief from her pocket with which she might staunch your wound. Princesses tend to carry handkerchiefs around with them, don't they? Silken ones? Don't worry, girl, you can make me bleed, I won't complain, says Ori. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How else would they give brave knights tokens of their gratitude once those aforementioned knights have successfully slain dragons? Princesses can hardly dispense kisses as favours, it's simply not done. That's what you always thought, but... Please, hold still. This might sting a little bit. This princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than take a handkerchief out of her pocket, she instead encloses her white, slender fingers around your hand. Carefully, as though she's handling a precious object, she raises your hand, her eyes affixed, all the while on the beads of startlingly crimson blood which are oozing luridly from your wound. She licks her lower lip. Then she dips her head. Oh, Yuri! Yuri! Oh my god, they're so cute! Her little maid outfit, her pink hair. Girls love real! Girls love real! She parts her mouth, and with a soft sigh which borders on the sensuous, she slips your injured digit between her teeth. So much for princesses not dispensing kisses as tokens of appreciation. Also, look at her nails. She's got 2 black ones, 1 clear one, 1 red one. I want to know more. Tell me more. This might not be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless. Almost startlingly so. The princess's lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger. You can feel the warmth of the princess's mouth about your skin, and the wetness of it. Oh my, oh my, oh my. These sensations make your whole body quake. You did not expect this. Tremulously, in a voice which wavers, you ask the princess what it is she's doing. Oh? The princess glances up at you, her mouth still enclosed around your finger. Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to stop the bleeding. Yes, you gathered as much, but... Is there a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I? She's good at speaking with a finger in her mouth. It is not, you say, that she's making you uncomfortable, per se. But this is rather awkward. You didn't expect it, that's all. And she's not worried that this is unhygienic. Unhygienic? The princess blinks. She's the very picture of innocence, which is funny, really, given your finger is still nestled against her tongue. I don't know what you mean by that exactly. How is she managing this? I don't know what you mean by that exactly. But I've heard this is the best way to take care of cuts. My nursemaids used to do this for me when I was a child. It's what you're supposed to do. And you ask, your voice catching in your throat, did your nursemaid keep staunching her wounds with her mouth when she grew older? Well, no, but my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. That's the normal way of things. I had my ladies' maids to look after me then. How very interesting. And did they ever clean her wounds like this? No, the princess says, smiling mischievously, because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself, silly. Now that was quite the sharp retort. You did not expect it. Your face turns even redder if such a thing is possible, though this might perhaps be to your benefit. With some luck, all of your blood will flow to your face rather than to your finger, and the bleeding will stop. Has it stopped? Your injury was not a deep one. There should be no need for the princess to keep on suckling, but she still is. You're not accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It's making your heart flutter. If the princess knew what her mouth was doing to you, you are sure she would not be so very familiar. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. You feel quietly, crushingly confident that she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. It would not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection. It still stings, though. It stings much, much more than any thorn or any rose ever could. The days pass, following your misadventures in the rose garden, in a relaxed, unhurried sort of manner. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the making your heart flutter. I mean, Ori, Ori, sweet Ori, I've never been 100% straight and never will be. There was no realizing, there is only inevitability. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the raw, naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life. There's no running to be had while you are working for the princess. You would have had nowhere else to run, and in any event, there's no longer any reason to run. The shadows which once tormented you have at long last begun to recede. You can scarcely recall, as you lay down in your bed, the petty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmates at the conservatoire. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused, not upon yourself, but upon the princess. The more time you expend with her, the more you come to care for her. You become quite besotted with her, but you are yet to realize it. Well, I never. How very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings? The princess is not half so ignorant as you are, though, despite having spent her whole life within the palace's walls. Be Bendy from the ink machine! The weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, and during one stormy night she chooses to make them known to you. You're in the princess's chambers later, perhaps, than you ought to be, later than is strictly appropriate. It's dark outside and there's little save the light of the moon to alleviate it, that and the fire which crackles in the grate. You've only just finished stoking that very fire, and now you rise. You look to the princess who's lying in her bed, and you bid her good night as you have many nights past. With a neat curtsy, you turn to leave, but the princess's plaintive voice gives you pause. Wait, dear one. Do not go, not just yet. Sus. Perplexed, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she's smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright? Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just nights like this, you know, which make me feel a little out of sorts. And what, you ask, does she mean by that? Only that it's very cold and very dark. And it is very windy besides. I'm afraid there'll be a storm later. It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for a walk. Getting laid, getting stabbed in my sleep, could be getting eaten, could be finding out what happened to all the other staff in the household. We just don't know. We just don't know. Storm. Storm, I heard storm. Yep, there's a storm a-coming. A storm of cute girls. The princess is not mistaken about that. The sky, when the pair of you promenaded about the gardens earlier, was grey and steely, the wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind rattling mournfully against the panes in the princess's bedchamber. The princess's castle is built of stone, and it is well fortified, but even with the fire it is rather cold. You do not like to think of how much chillier by comparison it will be in your humble bedchamber, which is not fortunate enough to have its own fireplace. It might sound childish, but I've always found it hard to sleep on stormy nights like this. They make me feel uncomfortable. You look at the princess with no small degree of sympathy. No longer clad in her bright red dress, she looks oddly, uncommonly vulnerable. Will she really be all right, all alone in her oversized bed in her high-ceiling bedchamber? There was one oversized bed! You know it's silly of you to contemplate such a query. Why would she not be alright? There's nobody in the castle to hurt her, but still you fret for her. As her lady's maid, it's your job to fret for her. You would never want your mistress to feel unhappy. You ask the princess what it is she would have you do, and the princess perks up at this, pleased perhaps that you're taking the initiative. I wouldn't like to take up too much of your time when it is so very late, but would you mind sitting with me a little while longer, and reading to me, provided that you can, of course? This is a fair enough question, but your pride bristles regardless. Hastily, you reassure the princess that yes, of course you could read. You are a poor student in many aspects of the conservatoire, but you had something of a gift when it came to the literary arts. Reading books is all you have ever been any good at. Oh, I see. I suppose I should have known. You're so incredible. I sometimes wonder if there's anything you can't do. The princess's high praises make you flush. Awkwardly, you look away. Being able to read, you reassure her, is not such a great feat. Perhaps it isn't where you hail from, but it is here. Very few of my old servants could read, and they certainly couldn't read the books that I like. They couldn't read Yuri. This piques your interest. Intrigued, you ask the princess which books, exactly, she likes. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm fond of fairy tales, you see, old ones from centuries past. I've a collection of them here, the princess says, indicating a book on her bedside table as thick as a mortuary slab. The book is old though, and the bindings are weak. The pages brittle, the writing woefully old-fashioned. I didn't trust any of my past servants with that book, but I think you would do a good job breathing life into these old stories. Would you mind reading to me for just a brief while? Please, dear one, oh please. The princess's request seems a simple one expressed sweetly, so much so you see no reason to refuse her. You take a seat beside the princess upon her luxurious bed, which sinks beneath your weight. Then you retrieve the leather-bound book which is resting upon her bedside table, and spread it open. The pages of the book are very brittle, like the princess said, and the bindings of the book are loose. You can feel in the heft of the book's manifold pages the weight of the ages concealed within it. How old is this book? Perhaps it's as old as the castle in which it resides. It's with a quiet voice, hesitant at first, that you begin to read to the princess a tale of courtly love which culminates in a lavish wedding ceremony. All the while, as you read, the princess listens to you, enraptured, hanging, or so it seems, upon your every word. Once you reach the final phrase embossed upon the pages of this aged tome, and they lived happily ever after, the princess sighs as though this tale has touched her very soul. Would that there were a handsome prince to marry me, she says somberly, or better yet, a beautiful princess. At this point, I think I would even settle for a lowly scullery maid. You blush at this idle remark and mumble softly that this would not be proper. Ooh, Friday, potential rainstorm. That sounds lovely. Looking forward to it. The storm outside is still squalling, and you've never been one to raise your voice. You do not expect, therefore, that the princess will overhear you, but she does. She observes you, her head resting against her pillows, and says, "And what would be the problem with that, As my maid, shouldn't my happiness come before any silly ideas of propriety? Yes. Any silly ideas of propriety?" Lakeia, hello! Holy moly, Lakeia, good to see you. I hope you are doing amazingly, Lakeia. Good to see you. I hope that the week is treating you well. I hope that you have many lovely, exciting things ahead of you. Well, of course, you reply. But for a princess to marry a scullery maid. You're still hung up about that? The princess titters. Don't pay it too much heed, I'm just talking to myself. As if anything like that would ever happen when there's no priest around who would officiate it. You think there are greater issues with the princess's plan than the lack of a priest, but she does present a good point. The castle is an empty one. Even if the princess were to find somebody she loves, there would be nobody to make such a wedding official. You cannot help but feel like you've avoided a good deal of nuisance. But by the same token, do you not feel a touch disappointed? Well, never mind. That was a nice story, the princess says, but I'm not sleepy yet and it's still storming outside. Won't you read me one more? I'm in Hawaii right now visiting my wife's family, going to Japan soon to furnish her apartment there. Oh, fantastic! That sounds so good! That sounds so good, Lakeia. Enjoy! Look after yourself, say hi to the family from me, have a great, great time. You would not mind, you reply, but it is getting late. You really ought to return to your own chamber. I know, but can't you find it in your heart to read one story to me? Just one? You can choose a short one, I won't complain. You have some doubts about that. But as before, you cannot resist the princess's demands. Oh, it's so good to see you, Lakeia. Have a lovely, lovely night, and good seeing you as well. Thank you for stopping in. It is not, you think, because she is a princess, though that is, of course, a part of it. But because she is... is it about to give me choices? Well, radiant. You would not, you think, as you turn to the next story recounted in this aged compendium, want to upset her. You would rather cut out your own tongue. You read another story to the princess which is of a similar vein to the last. Impossible adventures accumulating at their close in a happy marriage. This tale delights the princess just as much as the tale you read prior, and she begs for another, then another. One bedroom story soon becomes 5, and even then when the candles which flicker on the princess's bedside are close to guttering out, the princess is not satisfied. Like a grasping, greedy child, she has never heard of moderation. When she wants something, she seeks to glut herself with it, her only request that of more. If she were less comely, perhaps her inability to adhere to the word no would be seen as a character defect. The princess is very comely, however, and so when she makes her next request, you almost agree offhand, without considering the ramifications. I think I could go to sleep now, but the storm is still raging. I feel lonely on my own in this big empty bed, so... I know! The princess's eyes light up in the night sky like the night sky in a thunderstorm. Why don't you sleep with me? You stare at the princess, your eyes wide as goose eggs. Slowly, you blink. Then, just as slowly, you bid her to repeat herself. Didn't you hear me? Maybe you've been too busy cleaning up after me and you've neglected to clean out your own ears. I said, dear one, would you like to sleep with me? What is that emote? I was expecting the clock emote. Is that like a sweat drop? Oh, it's an egg. Is that an egg? Egg! Egg, egg, egg! Thunderstorm! If that is the question she truly means to ask, then it is easy enough to answer. Egg! Of course you would like to sleep with her. It would be an honor. But would it really be alright for you to accept such an invitation? It must be a gross breach of protocol, surely, for a lowly domestic such as yourself to share a bed with a princess. You sit upon the princess's bedside, fretting, while she observes with wide, beseeching eyes. She's waiting. Well, what's the matter, dear one? Why do you tarry so? Could it be? The princess's lower lip begins to tremble. Don't you want to lie with me after all? The sorrow present in the princess's voice and in her face makes you feel awfully guilty. She knows what she's doing. Katie, I may be dense, but I think we got something going with the princess. Let's not fumble. I'm gonna fumble. I'm gonna fumble. I know I'm gonna fumble. Hurriedly, you console her. You tell her in no uncertain terms that if she truly wishes to partake in your company, then you have no qualms with it. Why would you? Well then, don't just stand there dilly-dallying, silly. Come and join me. Come. Yes, ma'am. And that is what you do, after returning briefly to your own chamber to change into your nightgown. Once dressed, you waste no time in returning to your impetuous princess's side. She's already lying in her glorious four-poster bed, awaiting your return as though you are a knight-errant gone away to slay some wicked dragon. The princess giggles when she sees you. In your haste to change, you've made a hash of your buttons, and she bids you to come closer. Ooh, ooh. Let me fix that for you, silly. Oh no, you see, I couldn't possibly let you do that. I am but a servant, after all. Should it not be your job to dress her? Maybe so, the princess says. But I don't mind a bit of role reversal. It makes things more fun. Dang, she's into roleplay. This is escalating quickly. You try a few more refutations, but in vain. The princess summarily discards all of them. Quite at the princess's mercy, she might be even more stubborn than you are, you capitulate to her demands. You let the princess unbutton the front of your nightdress, then rebutton them, so the fabric of your plain gown is drawn shut. Satisfied with her handiwork, she has very elegant hands, the princess draws back and pats the mattress beside her. Now come in! It must be horribly cold out there, but these sheets are warm. Coyly, the princess smiles. And so am I. Ooh! Ooh! Dang, I think you guys might be right! I think we might have a chance! You feel warm yourself as you slide into bed beside the princess. Your face is as red as the gown the princess so often wears, as red as the roses in the castle's grounds. All the while your heart is fluttering. It's more than fluttering, I'm gonna die. We shan't. Princess, let me smash. Katie, no! Princess, come on, Becky, let me smash. Katie, I'm Katie, not Becky! She forgot my name. Does the princess know what an effect she is having on you? Surely she must. How could any woman be so blind? Have you met me? There, the princess exclaims once your body is lying beside hers. That's much better. Do you feel cozy now, dear one? You swallow and with a shaky voice you reassure her. Yes, you are cozy. You are quite cozy indeed. Very good. The storm might be raging outdoors, but it can't get us here. I know when I'm with you, I'll be safe. It's strange, but... The princess reaches out and takes your hand in hers, twining your fingers together like a chain. When I'm with you, I feel so very light. It's as though nothing in the world can hurt me. You make me feel safe, so I want to make you feel safe too. I'll take very, very good care of you. I promise. You return her smile with one of your own, touched by her thoughtfulness, though something about her promise does make you wonder. Should it not be your job to look after? Ori says going for the content backlog world record. A little too close to home, a little too close to home. Should it not be your job to look after her as a domestic? In a way, the princess replies after a pause, but you've been taking good care of me already. Now I need to return the favour. As a princess, I'm supposed to look after my vassals. It's all part of the job description. You were unaware that being a princess came with a job description. You thought the profession came with far fewer written responsibilities and far fewer forms to sign than, say, becoming a doctor, or an astrophysicist, or a mathematics professor. You tell the princess this sleepily, and she laughs. You do say some funny things, dear one. I think you must be tired. Rest your head. You've been working so hard. I think you deserve it. I wonder if astrophysicists, they probably don't exist in this universe. Am I from this world? This world? This human world that I'm in right now? Did I get isekai'd into Yuri land? I lesbianed so hard I isekai'd myself. I yearned so hard over pretty ladies that I isekai'd myself. Yes, you think, only half conscious. You think you deserve it too. You've been working hard for a long time. I've been running for even longer. But now at long last you feel like you can let your fears go. Your eyelids begin to droop. Your body beleaguered by a sudden, all-consuming fatigue. And in a quiet, understated sort of way, your consciousness is conveyed to Morpheus's kingdom. Your sleep is a deep one, despite the storm which rages outdoors. The wind is howling like a couple of wild cats, both locked in a vicious and bloodthirsty bout to the death, but you do not hear it. Swaddled by the warm blankets about you, and soothed by the princess's presence, you are immune from all the ills of the world. When you are with the princess, you feel safe, secure, and, yes, you even feel loved. It is a pity, then, that these feelings do not last for very long. You know that something is wrong, catastrophically so, the moment you open your eyes. Your thoughts are hopelessly jumbled, but you are certain that, when you fell asleep, it was in a bed. A nice warm bed, no less, beneath soft, comfortable sheets. You are not lying in a bed right now, though. You are not, in fact, lying at all. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Girls love real! You are standing instead against a cold, hard wall made of stone. Oh no, she looks so sad! Oh, I see. I see a maid uniform here, and I see a maid apron here, and a maid uniform here. This is fine. The curve of your back is pressed against the wall so intimately you can feel its icy chill seeping through the fabric of your nightgown. Your feet, which are bare, are similarly pressed against cold, unfeeling stone. They feel so frigid you cannot help but tremble. You're trembling so much you can feel your teeth chattering together. They sound like castanets. The sound is almost jaunty as it echoes through your cell, for that is indeed where you are. The princess's bedchamber, wherein you fell asleep, is a thing now of the past. You're standing instead, you realise with a sharp start, in the cell of some great underground dungeon. You swallow, and when you do you can taste something bitter on your tongue. Your stomach is beginning to churn with anxiety. You feel you are going to be sick, a feeling which wells up inside of you to a staggering degree when you catch notice of the stench. You are not, you realise, the only one in the dungeon. There are others here. Others attired in the simple black and white outfits of servants which look so much like the dress that you once wore. The others who are with you, however, in this expansive cell, manacled to the walls, are in no fit state to speak to you, nor to tell you of their plight. They are all unfeeling, unseeing, unbreathing. They are all dead. You cannot approach these servants to check their pulses, for you yourself are restrained, but even if you could, there would be no point. There is no way any human could survive the wounds which have been inflicted upon these sad, slumped bodies. Over there you see a woman slumped, the front of her once white apron stained with blackish blood. There's a gaping wound in her stomach, one through which her entrails have half escaped in some sort of burgundy goop which might once have been pale pink. There's another woman slumped beside the first of a smaller stature. She is skinnier. Maybe she's not a woman after all, but an adolescent like yourself. I'm an adolescent, oh boy, oh boy! She might even be younger. The girl's age, or lack of, did not preclude her attacker from inflicting upon her horrors. Alas, for her body is even more mutilated than the first. Her body is peppered with even more wheals, and her face has been half smashed in. Only one eye remains, staring fixedly at the wall opposite her, in the ruined remains of what was once her skull. Over there you see a woman who is missing both her arms and her lower jaw. Over there you see another who is missing her entire lower half. Where have her legs gone? You have no idea. The injuries inflicted upon these bodies are ghastly, but their advanced decay is enough to turn your stomach. You know not how long these carcasses have been lying down here, but they have begun to putrefy. You fear a similar fate might befall you, should you stay here. You need to escape. Fitfully, you struggle against the manacles which bind you, but alas, it is of no use. You cannot free yourself from the walls. Your restraints are much too strong, and you are much too weak. Panic rises up in your throat, cold and icy, while terror seizes your heart, this too glacial. It is obvious that escape is impossible, but still you squirm and writhe like a rat caught in a firestorm. There's a little point, however, to your struggles. You succeed in nothing as you attempt to free yourself, save making the steel manacles dig into your abused wrists more sharply than ever. You gasp. That hurts. Well, you ought to have known that would not work. The very definition of insanity is, you know, performing a said action over and over again, hoping for a different response. In that sense, perhaps one could argue optimism is not so very different from insanity. Now that is an interesting point to consider. Would you not agree? No, evidently not. You're still trying to escape, you foolish girl, as if that will do you any good. The clangorous rattling of your steely restraints is rather starting to get on my nerves. You are making enough noise to raise the dead down there, in your dark, dingy cell, and all your screaming is hardly helping matters. I wish that you would cease this infernal racket, but I know you will not. Nothing I say could ever get through to you. Not that you've ever listened to me in the first place. Perhaps you would listen to her, though. Clankers, no! No clankers! Is she not your kind, considerate mistress? Oh, she's so pretty! She's so pretty! Look now, she's come all this way into the dark depths of the castle's cold, inhospitable dungeon just to see you. Is that not kind of her? Oh, dear one, the princess trills, entering the dungeon with a series of light, lilting steps. It would seem that you've finally awoken. How are you? Based on all that infernal racket you've been making, it would seem like you have no shortage of energy. Balefully, you turn your head so as to meet the eyes of the princess. She is standing but a few paces away, beneath the roughly hewn stone arch which bids one entry, but rarely ever an exit, to the dungeons. The dungeons are dull and drab, but the princess is wearing her favourite red dress. It is so bright and brilliant that for a few moments it hurts you to look at her. Once the red of the princess's outfit made you think of romance. Now it makes you think of violence. You must forgive me for leaving you down here for so long. That was unfair of me. I did think of waiting here with you by your side until you awoke, but... Once again the princess giggles, a light, airy giggle which does not at all suit the situation in which you found yourself. A dungeon's not a fit place after all for a princess. It is horribly cold here and so very drab, and there's nowhere nice and soft to lay my head. I mean, just saying, my thighs were free the whole time. I could have brought my pillows down from my bed, I suppose, and my blankets. But then they would have gotten dirty, and that would be a disaster. I need to be more careful. I won't have anybody left to clean up after my messes soon, not when I've dispatched of you. Once again, the princess laughs. Her laughter is light and lilting, like the chiming of a silvery bell, but it does little to alleviate your concern. If anything, it makes you feel even more alarmed. Did she say she meant to dispatch of you? Yes, that's right. Could you not tell? I thought you might have figured that out already after waking up in a dungeon, silly. Still smiling, the princess takes another step towards you. Would that you could, you would cringe away from her, but you cannot. You are completely powerless. Oh! Women, 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 women. The princess reaches out and places a hand upon your cheek. Her skin is very white, and though her touch is cool, it is less so than the frigid air in the dungeon. Though your body is aching, oh I bet it is, the princess's touch is gentle, and you find yourself leaning into it subconsciously. You wish she would keep holding you. You wish she would keep touching you. You luxuriate in her kindness as best you can. But though the princess's caresses are tender, your circumstances rather undermine them. How can you relax like this? You're such a good girl, the princess says, in a cajoling sort of voice, as one might address a cat. That's me. I'm a cat. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow! You've been so lovely to me while we've been together. I really couldn't ask for a better servant. I feel as though I've been spoiled. Why, then, you ask her, is she doing this? Improbable though it sounds, she must be the one who chained you up. There is nobody else in the castle who could have committed such a feat. Everyone else is dead. Why, yes. How very astute of you. I was the one who orchestrated all of this, naturally. Naturally, she says, as though her betrayal is a matter of course. Naturally. Why, you ask, is this so natural to her? What does she mean to do with you? Oh, only what I've done to all my other servants. I've experience with this sort of thing, so please don't worry. I'll take such good care of you. And by take good care of, she means... naturally, I'll kill you. There it is again. That word. That funny feeling. No, Ori, I'm with you. I'm with you. I am with you 100%. There it is again. That word, which seems grossly inappropriate given all which has transpired. But yes, Ori, she has never been hotter. Naturally. There's nothing natural about this, isn't there, though? Truly, what could be more natural than smooching in a dungeon? Do you not think so? The princess examines you, her expression ponderous. It's natural to me. Even if it is... It's natural to me. Even if it isn't natural to other people. This just feels right. Imprisoning her servants in the dungeon and letting them die feels right? Yes, exactly. There's a bit more to it than that, though. Oh, of course there is. I like you, dear one, the princess says, in a voice which sounds uncommonly serious. You have been good to me, like I said, and kind. For that I will be eternally appreciative. You've been so good to me, in fact, that simply being with you is not enough. Not anymore. Your company can no longer content me. I'm a greedy, selfish girl, you see. The princess's smile widens into something sinister, her eyes flashing with a fiendish fervor you've never before witnessed. And I don't want to feel you beside me. I want to feel you inside me. Oh, hell yeah! Let's fucking go! Girls love real! Well, of all the things your charming captive could have said, you did not expect that. The princess, perhaps noticing your confusion, begins to giggle. A giggle even lighter than meringue and just as airy. I mean, still hot though. Or, am I rang? Meringue? Am I rang? It is just as inoffensive. I can see that you don't understand, dear one, but you aren't the only one. My last lady's maid said that too. Wanly, the princess sighs, a beleaguered woe-is-me sigh, which makes her look even younger than the scant handful of years she truly possesses. And the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that. I thought that you at least might be able to appreciate my point of view, but perhaps not. I don't think it should be too complicated to grasp, really. But maybe my way of looking at the world is a little bit unique. That's what my nurse always used to say, at least, when she still had the breath to speak, of course. You look at the princess. Where else is there for you to look, really? Your eyes fixed to her face. Oh, did she have her first kill when she was 8? Impressive. Real, Ori, so real. She is still smiling, but there is something sinister about her smile. Or perhaps in her anxious state, you are only imagining that there is something sinister about her smile. I know, I'm pretty sure I'm legit about that. Pretty sure I'm not imagining shit right now. It is easy to see things that do not really exist when your surroundings are festooned in shadows. In actuality, however, the princess does not look any different to how she usually does. Neither is she acting any different to the way she usually acts. She's not changed. It's only your perspective of her that changed. Do you think the crown and earrings are made from the bones of others? I think they are. I'm just gaslighting myself. Like, maybe I'm imagining it, that she wants to kill me. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Maybe this is my fault and I'm overreacting to being put in a dungeon. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a me problem. Tremulously, you ask the princess what she means, a question the princess is only too happy to answer. It's simple, really. Like I said, you were wondering, weren't you, why there weren't any guards or any servants in the castle when you first arrived here? The question had crossed your mind, yes. You're sure that the princess said her ministers sent them away, though? Was that a lie? I wasn't being wholly truthful, no. I thought you would be afraid of me if you knew what had actually happened, and I didn't want that. I wanted you to stay with me. My ministers didn't send anyone away because I don't have any ministers. I dispatched of them, too. Did she now? You suppose you ought not to be surprised, but you still shudder regardless. My ministers weren't very much fun, I'm afraid. They had a lot of ideas about what I should and shouldn't do after my parents died. The princess stares at you, her eyes wide like black holes, empty, yawning abysses. So I killed them. I killed my servants too, though I did a more thorough job with them than I did my ministers. I didn't care for my ministers, you see. They were all fusty old men. But I did love my servants. I loved my ladies' maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and my large retinue of retainers. They were like my family. They raised me in my parents' absence, and I adored them. They were so very dear to me that I had no real choice. I had to eat them. Does that follow? Not logically, no, I disagree actually. Narrator, actually, no, I'm following her exactly. Why? You ask the princess, your voice trembling. Would you eat the people you like that? Dang, she just doesn't get it, does she? Why would you eat the people that you love? It seems a poor way to repay them for their kindness. Well, why wouldn't you eat the people that you love? I don't think there could be a greater way of showcasing one's gratitude unless you have any better ideas. You weren't expecting the princess to turn the tables on you quite like this, and dumbfounded you stare at her. Uno reverse, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I do it? You know precious little about love yourself, so it's hard for you to form a convincing rebuttal, but you muster up a few token arguments. You tell the princess that eating people isn't very nice, and neither is it strictly legal. A better way to show your gratitude to your servants would be with increased wages, or increased holidays, or hear me out, orgasms. The princess listens to your argument, her expression astute, like a student poised to take notes in a very important lecture. Once you're finished, however, her concentration fails her. Her shoulders begin to shake, but it is not with remorse for what she's done. Instead, she's laughing. Oh, dear one. That's very funny, but why should I care about the law? I'm a princess. One day I'll be the queen. Darling, I am the law. That is a good point. But would eating people not turn her subjects against her? What subjects? I'm no fool, you know, no matter how I might act, and I know what happens beyond the castle's walls. I know all about the plague. There was a plague? I don't know about the plague! Once I might have had a populace to govern, but they're all gone now. I'm a princess and nothing but name only, a monarch without any subjects. Don't you think that's sad? I know I do. It's so woefully lonely. If she feels lonely, then why has she been systematically slaughtering all of her domestics? It doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm just like, but hang on a second, the logistics here. You can't have things both ways, okay? Perhaps not to you. Gently, the princess caresses your cheek. But I shouldn't judge you too harshly. As much as I like you, dear one, you are a commoner. Perhaps you can't understand the intricacies of my thoughts. She's like, damn, you're too poor to get it. Privately, you doubt that anyone would be able to understand the intricacies of the princess's thought process, largely because it is unreasonable. You do not say that, though. Instead, you ask her the only question you can think to ask with your weary throat which is sore from shouting. Why? Why? It's because I don't want you to leave me, of course. Everybody leaves sooner or later, whether they have pledged their allegiance to me or not. That is simply the way of the world. People are fickle and inconstant, even to me, a monarch. That's why I decided to eat my servants. I had no choice, you see. It was the only way to ensure they would never leave me. When you think about it, they should be grateful that I would demean myself so, to consume their flesh and blood. I'm a magnanimous ruler, you see, and I treat all of my subjects equally. I love every single one of you. And naturally, I love you too. You've been awfully nice to me. And you are very pretty alongside it. Oh, dang, dang! If you were a plain ugly girl, perhaps I would not shower you with affection quite as intense as this. But you've captured my heart. I think you're lovely. So I'll bestow upon you the highest honor I can conceive of. I mean, there are other ways you and I could both conceive. I'm just saying. I want your body to mix with mine. Then we can stay together forever and ever. The princess leans in. You can feel her soft silken hair brushing against your cheeks. You can feel, too, the warmth of her breath as it goes against your skin. It's cold in the dungeon, but the princess's close proximity is, perverse as this might sound, something of a comfort. Her eyes are wide, and her lips are so red. Her smile, meanwhile, is so sweet. I've been doing my best to fulfill the role that fate has dictated for me, but really... The princess exhales. Her eyes, which are boring into yours, are like two dark tarns. Finally, you think you can see in the alarming lack of light, the lack of anything, in the princess's gaze some degree of humanity. It gets so lonely here. But this brief flicker of understanding which passes between the pair of you is soon cut short. The princess dips her head. She parts her lips, which are red as the petals of a carnivorous flower. You feel the princess's breath against your neck. It is warm in the icy chill of the dungeons, and you shudder from it. For a few moments, you think that this overture of the princess's could be romantic in a way, but this too comes to a swift, merciless close. The princess's mouth is on your neck. The princess's teeth, sharp as needles, are in your flesh. The princess is draining your blood. She's supping on it in great, greedy gobbets, like a hungry animal, one who cannot truly comprehend the harm it is causing. Even as the princess sups from you, her arms twined around your waist, you find you cannot hate her. She's far too unworldly. You're sure, as your consciousness begins to fade, that the princess was being sincere when she spoke of her love for her past servants. This is simply the way the princess expresses this great love of hers, a love which is so very abundant it borders upon the monstrous. It's a love you never thought that you would ever experience. Yay! Virgin no longer! Achievement unlocked! Virginity claimed. This love of the princesses eclipses anything you have ever known before. It eclipses sanity. It eclipses reason. It eclipses all notions you might once have had of right or wrong. The princess, as you know full well, does not care about such concepts. You've always possessed a stubborn core, nestled beneath your weak-willed exterior, but the princess is even stubborner than you are. Dang! Out-stubborned! In the face of her love, you've met your match. The princess draws back, Desperately, you gasp for air, but she doesn't give you any quarter. As before, she dips her head, her red lips redder still with your blood, then splits apart her jaw. Her teeth, which are impossibly inhumanly sharp, glint wickedly like knives. Then she tears out your throat. The front of your nightgown was white once. Now it is red. There's so much blood you can smell it when you inhale, sharper than metal. It's so potent you can taste it on your tongue. You try to inhale, but this task proves to be beyond you, what with the twin perforations that have ruptured your skin. Your attempted breaths, when they escape your lips, sound like sad, sorry wheezes. Your whole body, meanwhile, feels as though it is on fire. You make for quite the sorry sight indeed. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know? You reap what you sow, and in your case you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. So sad. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace? Or will you try to fight against it? Wait, what? I've got a choice? Ah! Choices! Ah! Bad decision. Yeah, let's accept our fate. We can try and fight it in another stream, maybe. What, really? You're fine with being eaten alive in a dark, dingy dungeon, then be left to rot? Yeah, don't kink shame me, narrator. Don't kink shame me. That doesn't sound like a very satisfying ending to this particular narrative. But if that's what you want, then so be it. I do not mind indulging you. That is what I've always done, after all, from the moment we first met. Who are you? I want to smooch you. I've dedicated myself tirelessly to answering your wishes, and this is no different. Do not be so foolish to think, though, that you can escape me, even if your life's blood has mingled with that of the princesses. I'm not going to relinquish my hold upon you that easily. I did pledge, after all, to remain by your side. Come what will, fire or flood, demon girlfriend? Demon girlfriend? I will never leave you. How does it feel to be adored so ardently? You will never be lonely again. It gets so lonely here! Yay! We finished a game. Pro gamers. Pro gaming. Is there an end credits? Credits, here we go. Writing, programming by Ebihimi, the goat. Character art by Mosinasi. Background art from Flickr. GUI by Elduator. Music by Yuzi Kimesu. Sound effects by Pond5. A bunch of translations by all these cool people. German by Sariana. French by Hugo Lorenzini and Shozutko. Spanish by Ryun. Brazilian Portuguese by Fepulo. Chinese translation by Yuri Atelier. That's a great name for a Chinese translator of Yuri. Good for them. I imagine it might be a group, actually. Korean translation by Clare. That was incredible. Oh, is there more? There might be more. There is not. Hang on. There's a bar here. There's a bar here. Russian translation by Mikhail Korny Pony Barov Kozolapan. Ukrainian translation by Brisk. Ukrainian editing by Lucky23. Proofreading by Moon Marshmallow and Zolf. Created for the Yan Jam 2023. I'm going to be checking that out. Made with REMP 7.5. Yay! And just imagine showing up to the princess again and saying, I know all about the corpses in the dungeon. Maybe. I'm very curious if there's going to be a true route where I'm just like, hello! I know what you are. I know what you are, waves the lesbian flag. We did the thing, but with that, we take a breath, we relax, we unwind, we bask in the glory of a Yuri done goodly, and we look and see who's around for raiding. Thank you all very much for joining me. It has been, as always, a pleasure to have a gay panic with you all. I hope that you enjoyed our monster girlfriend experience. And let me see if any of our buddies are online. Is there any chance we've got an art stream by Cal? Because come on. This is the perfect game to then raid into Cal for. Let me see. No Cal stream. Aww. Aww, I keep missing the Cal streams lately. That makes me sad. Moffy! Moffy! Perfect, let's do it. Yes, Moffy is perfect. Let's go. Let's go. Let's raid into Moffy. So Wisteria Moth is a delight and a wonder. And she is the sweetest of Moffy Moths. And she's just the best. She's the best. We can talk to her about cute girls and monster girls and cannibalism and she'll just be like nodding, I'm pretty sure. And also her avatar for Genshin is so cute. It's like polygonal. It's so heckin' cute. It's so heckin' cute. I need to find out where she got that because that's adorable. And they're playing Genshin. They're doing the Primo Gem grind. Very relatable. But thank you all for joining me. I will see you all next Friday for Digimon Time Stranger. Digimon Time. And it'll be spooky month. We'll have our spooky overlays on. We're gonna have a good time. We've kind of got the spooky started early, so you know, Digimon will not be spooky, or it could be. We just don't know. Bye, everybody. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. It has been a delight to see you. Oh, cute girls, oh, cute girls smooching. Do 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 do. Cute girls, do 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 do. I am looking forward to it, Ori. See you very, very soon. Before you know it. Safe travels, okay? Safe travels. And safe raiding, everybody. Raid responsibly, wear protection, okay? Put your helmets on. Don't get a concussion. Bye. I think if you're watching on YouTube, put your helmet on. Don't get concussion. Watch YouTube responsibly.